This is my first journal entry. My name is Alderic of the House de Villeron. I am 12 years old. The last 2 years have been very exciting. We have marched through France after the evil king, who now calls himself emperor, has declared that he will not follow the words of the Holy Father. I cannot remember much of Rome, but the Holy Father is the head of all Catholics and must be obeyed, which is why me and my family wage war against the evil emperor of France to liberate the people. One castle after another has fallen to my father's troops. The mangonels make short work of their walls and they usually surrender. My father says to treat them well, as they only follow the orders of their lords. I have learned much from my father. I am skilled with the sword, and I can read common script and add up accounts. I envy Volkhard. He has been accepted among the ranks of knights last year. His skill with the blade is a bit lacking compared to mine, but don't tell him that. I cannot wait until I can join the men in the fight. Mother has given us a sister, so I must protect her as is my duty. Really, they do grow up so quickly. Alderic is 12 at this point. His brother Raoul is 10, which means we can now actually instill some skills upon him. Alderic is an open terrain expert, so we'll give Raoul the rough terrain expert instead. Then we have Ogier, who's still too young, and we've got Antoine, who's even younger, and we've got newly born Elodie, who seems to have her mother's smarts and her father's strength. So all good things. The years go by quickly, and many of our camp have gotten very old. Unigild, who we hired as a captain, is in his late 60s, and despite the fact that he is not really capable of much anymore in the field, we still bring him along because it would break his heart if we were to prohibit him from being a knight. Sophie, my physician and the wife of Richard, has gotten quite on in age, and so has her husband. And Jeanne is in her 60s as well, and Cicek will be soon too. So the original group is getting on in age, and even Bernard is in his 40s by now. So is Mistress Perronel. And this was hopefully the last time. We've got 5 children all in all, because with her with increasing age, it gets more risky for her to have yet more children. That said, the war against the French emperor is continuing. The Duke of Toulouse has hidden himself. We have control of Toulouse Castle, but Duke Guillaume the Accursed, the Kinslayer, is nowhere to be found. And that means, since the king does not come to give battle, probably because he is busy fighting in Spain, in Sardinia and everywhere else, we are going to continue besieging and liberating the areas. Some of the commanders have suggested to leave a smaller group behind, but we do want to ensure that we can stand up to any kind of force that comes in and surprises us. That said, we can probably what we could do is split the army in half, because I think we have no, not really. I think if we were to split the army, we probably might not have enough troops to overwhelm the garrison. So we will just stay together and continue the siege currently against the fortress of Albi. And the rough terrain expert training has been a success. Raoul looks bored after looking at the military tactics of the maps. Okay, we've done this already. So he will be a great commander one day for sure. All right, the siege is continuing into what is becoming late spring. There is a peasant uprising, Count Hudes, though, not the king himself. And Sophie has gained experience in the physician's trait, which is no great surprise given that we are currently in a siege. So she's probably got many wounds to treat and many things to do. Again, we are careful not to run to assault forts, because now we are seeing that a large French force, this must be the French main army, is coming ashore. They are bringing a veritable number of soldiers with them. So let's have a quick look if we can refill the troops by scraping the barrel. Let's see, we can get up to 25 soldiers for every eligible. Impress mercenaries, not going to happen. I could inspire followers, or we could just spend the prestige. We've got the prestige to spend, so let's refill the troops. And we are currently in the forest, which is less than ideal for terrain. It would be better to give battle in the plains, but we will see. We will see where the French troops are heading and where we are going from here. But it looks like the king is finally returning to give battle. Okay, troops have landed in the barony of Béziers and are marching northwest towards our position. Let's see what have they got. So scouts tell us they've got pikemen, which is less than ideal. They have relatively skilled commanders. They've got a fair amount of pikemen, some heavy infantry, and a good amount of cavalry themselves. What they are, but I think we can still probably take them on. The question is, where are we going to give battle? In the forests, or are we going to move out into Castle Nodri in case they accost us in order to give battle in the open plains? That depends a bit how our troops are fighting. So in the forest, the heavy infantry, which is the bulk of our forces, is actually at an advantage. At least the Huskarls are. The archers as well get some advantages in the forest. That unfortunately we don't actually get debuffs on the heavy cavalry in the forest. We get damage buffs on plains, but we don't get negative modifiers in the forests. So I think the forest is actually not a terrible place for us to fight. A quick look what the other. So for pikemen, pikemen don't get any modifiers in the forests. Armored horse doesn't, we just check that, and light horse doesn't. As long as we're not in the hills or in the mountains, then the cavalry is going to be effective, and we are in a forested area. So I think we'll stay, continue the siege, and see what the French are going to be doing. It looks like they will be coming to give battle, and this means my skill might be good, but the enemy commander, who is it? Count Adalbert. He is very skilled with the blade, and he knows his strategy as well as I do. So it looks like he's going to lead the armies, and we are going to stand for the defense while besieging the fort in Albi. We are preparing for battle. We have the lines built up. We've got the archers in the forest. We've got the heavy infantry positioned. They do have a fair amount of skirmishers. So there will be some countering against our infantry. But I think overall they do have more cavalry. But we are leading in the heavy cavalry. So if the heavy infantry and the archers can hold them, and the cavalry can surround them and attack from the rear and defeat the enemy cavalry in the field, it's going to be a hard battle, but this might be the decisive fight of this war. Battle of Albi has been joined. 2,500 men stand currently against 5,100 enemy soldiers. Our Huskarls are dealing with the light footmen without too much trouble. Our bowmen are somewhat being harassed by the enemy's cavalry, and our heavy cavalry as well has trouble with the pikes, but the infantry stands strong. Enemy pikemen cannot do much. Their infantry obviously is not very numerous. The light footmen are in no good shape due to being suppressed by the archers, and their light horsemen are being swept away, which leaves only their own heavy cavalry, which overall is less effective than ours. So, led by Captain Alberto of the Company of the Star, it looks like the Count is still on the Second Army of Fraga, coming in behind. So for now, we'll be fighting the first group. We're already outnumbered 2-1. We will see how's the advantage overall. Okay, they are still disorganized because they recently landed, which means we may have, given that we're established, we know the lay of the land, our scouts have given us advanced warning, and we've positioned our troops well. We might have a good battle advantage. So let's see how the battle is going to run. All right, the Count Adalbert has joined with his troops, which means that our heavy cavalry is now, given the newly arrived pikemen, in more trouble than it used to be, and with more skirmishes arriving, our Huskarls as well are being harassed, but overall. It's their heavy cavalry that we would have to worry about. We are facing 8,000 men, but right now we have the advantage due to our positioning. The infantry has to hold firm in the center, and the cavalry has to manage to get around. One of our knights wounded one of the enemies. Oh yeah, we have 17 knights. Obviously, including Radomir himself, but I think it was Arnaud Arnoldsson von Arschot, one of the knight errants we have picked up on the way, and the enemy knights are no much for us in terms of prowess. So it all comes down to the skill of the commander in the field. And their disorganization is going to be their downfall. I think the center is holding, the cavalry has gotten around, and we have absolutely swept them away in battle. We have captured Count Volk the Wolf of Turenne. We will deal with him. We've captured Hildebert de Vernon, one of the knights of the Emperor, and now they are routed, which means we are going to give chase and against the last stand of the enemy combatants. Captain Alberto himself has been valiantly, instead of running, has been valiantly standing to fight, which means we've had the Battle of Albi, which actually was the slaughter of Albi. The enemy troops have mercilessly pushed, as is what the evil emperor would do, have mercilessly pushed the untrained men into our lines. Our infantry has held steady. Their cavalry has taken severe losses. So has their heavy infantry. A lot of their pikemen have been lost, and overall, the knights, Radomir alone has claimed 52 kills, and Richard, despite his age, has claimed 35, all by themselves. And Count Guillaume of Auxerre has been slain by Radomir, one of the enemy knights, and Isbrand has been wounded. But other than that, I think, their knights have. Even Unigild the Old has still managed to slay 7 foes in his honor on the field, and with that, and with the second victory over the enemy knights, who have stood firm and rather go into captivity than leave the field in shame. We now have a fair amount of prisoners. Okay, Hildebert de Vernon, I have no quarrel with him. So he is a diplomatic courtier, and as such, we shall release him from captivity and let him go free. Captain Alberto, he has fought valiantly. We could ask for a ransom, and I think such is customary. He is, I believe, a mercenary, so we shall ask for the customary ransom and then let him leave the prison. And Count Fawkes the Wolf of Touraine, I think he is... No, he's actually a landed nobleman, so we will again have the customary ransom being paid, and then they can leave. After that blistering defeat, the king has been shamed. He has been humiliated on the world stage, and his eagerness to throw his troops in battle after just having landed from the campaign across the sea has been his downfall against the well-prepared infantry that has been laid in ambush for him and has been serving him that justly deserved defeat. And with that, once the siege is over, we might be able to use this advantage. And yes, the king has made a proposal is sending a messenger to make a proposal to end the hostilities. Now we could still go further to enforce the demands, but what is he proposing? He is giving us the Duchy of Burgundy, the County of Macron. We become his vassal, and no, I do not. Where's the Duchy of Burgundy? That's here, this one. Okay, this is crazy. It's the Kingdom of Burgundy in the south, but it's the Duchy of Burgundy. We have no right for the Duchy of Burgundy and no interest in it. So no, we shall decline. We will take Toulouse. He is still trying to save the neck of Duke Guillaume the Accursed. No, we will decline this, and we will enforce the will of the Holy Father. We are at 90%. 90% score, so we will still have to. We probably still have to besiege one more. Let's see, where's the duchy titles? There we go, Toulouse. I think we're holding that all by now. Yes, so we will besiege one more castle. We'll move south to Carcassonne. And we shall besiege Carcassonne, and then we will see if the king gives in to our demands. He is trying to save the neck of the villainous duke, but that shall not stand. And yes, Peyronel has fallen pregnant again. I do hope that she will be all right with our sixth child, because she is as well getting on in age, and we're not in the greatest stage of things when it comes to childbirth. Hopefully Sophie can take good care of her, but for now we are accosting the fortress of Carcassonne in order to finally be able to enforce our will upon the King of France and oust the evil Duke of Toulouse. As we are in the final stages of the siege, news has arrived from the north that the emperor himself is leading an army with 10 of his best knights and all of his remaining professional soldiers to once again accost us in the field and to punish us for the shame that we have inflicted upon him. We are in hills, which is not ideal terrain, so we might move north again into Albi if he wants to have a repeat of the previous battle. Alternatively, we might move to Béziers. He is having a fair amount of light cavalry, so these would actually, I think, be disadvantaged light horsemen if we are fighting in the forest. No, they also don't really take the hills are not ideal terrain for us, I think. But how about our infantry? Infantry, no, does not take any advantage of hills. The archers potentially. The archers would be advantageous in hills, but we'll once again seek more volunteers to refill our numbers as the siege progresses, and we will see if we can manage to enforce our demands on the king. I think we might be. So we might be able to avoid further bloodshed. We control Carcassonne, and we shall send an envoy to the king, or to the emperor himself, and we shall see if we can come to an agreement. I think the cowardly emperor is going to acquiesce, hopefully, to throw Duke Guillaume before us, rather than meet me in battle himself. All right, so we get. Can I move that out of the way? No, I cannot. We get the Duchy of Toulouse. Let's see if I can kind of scoot that over here. All right, we were getting the Duchy of Toulouse, the County of Rougeroux, Millau, and Toulouse itself, and we will be getting Ennobled Adventurer for 10 years. Get Veteran Adventurer, and the Lion de Beauvais will cease to exist, but instead we shall become the new Duke of Toulouse, and we will not be actually a vassal of the King of France. So I do not wish to inflict any further bloodshed on the people, and as such we shall enforce our demands. And to the king's great shame, he has been told in no uneasy terms that he is to concede to our demands, and we are now in control of the Duchy of Toulouse, which means we have a truce with the emperor. And we are Duke Bernard III of Toulouse and Duchess Perronelle, our wife. With that, we now have, for the first time, settled down. The king's troops will move out. We shall disband our armies. We will stand down. We'll see. Many of the men probably will want to leave and pursue their own goals from here on out. And I think, do we have everything? We actually still short of. We still have claims on further territory potentially, but for now we are in control of the duchy. We're independent from the king, and such it shall remain. And now Bernard has to come to terms with his new position and with the burdens that being a duke brings with it. Two of my subjects have made themselves known to the court. Count Emeric of Auvergne is our subject, but we are not his rightful liege, because Auvergne is actually a duchy. So there will be potential. He has currently vassalage since we have taken over from the previous duke, but that had been enforced by force of arms previously. So things might get interesting when it comes to him. We've also got Mayor Savarix of Marveja, who is holding the position, but he's lowborn, and I think he's not going to be much of a problem. All said, our work from now on is going to be to ensure that the people that we govern over will come to accept us, because obviously we are currently perceived mostly as interlopers, especially that we come from the north. So we will potentially convert to the local culture, given that it is the culture of Bernard's ancestors. But the next things we have to do, we do not have a royal court because we're not a king. We are just a duke, but we are a free duke of Toulouse. And as such, we are going to have to emplace our council. We have Bishop Allon of Toulouse, and he is compassionate and brave. I already like him, but his skills are absolutely abysmal. So unfortunately, I cannot replace him because the Holy Father himself has appointed him through the Church. But we will see who we can. At least he is not. At least he is not a difficult person to work with for now. Anyway, let's see who we can appoint here. Duchess Peronelle for now is going to. We'll see. For now, we'll just letting her assist, which is going to increase all my. I think going to increase all my. Yeah, pretty much going to increase all my stats quite a bit, which is nice. We need a chancellor. Chancellor needs diplomacy, so we shall order. We say our Takulv is ill, but he is the most skilled diplomat that we have. So we will assign him. The role. Yeah, I think there's nobody else really. So Takulv shall be our chancellor, and for now we are probably going to. This is just going to increase prestige. No, we'll be focusing on domestic affairs for now. But we do need a steward, so let's see who is the most skilled. I think we do have a few. Oh, I would have thought actually that Jeanne would have been. Oh, we don't allow the women to be. Okay, of course, the women are more skilled, but since women are not allowed in stewardship position under French law, we shall assign Emo the Giant to this position. And he is for now. What are we going to? Yeah, we might just for now increase the taxes that we're taking. We do have to work out. The large problem here is the army. So the army size will have to be reduced to something more sensible. We do have the position of marshal open, so we need somebody who is skilled in that. And Farah the Brave, my best friend, is going to be the man for the position. How are we on control? Let's see. Control. Control is not great. So we could send him out to. I think we will send him out to increase control for now. And the worst is Gévaudan. So we will send him. I will send him there to increase the control in Gévaudan. Actually, Gévaudan is better off than the other ones. Let's do Toulouse itself then. Not a valid target due to. Okay, game doesn't let me. All right, then in that case we'll just do Gévaudan then. And we need a spy master, so somebody who is skilled in intrigue, and that would be Thierry, my bodyguard. So he shall be disrupting enemy schemes. We do have a few more positions available. So for now, I think we don't need Jeanne to stock up for travels anymore. And she's already got excellent skills. We do need a seneschal, so let's see who we got. I think Adele would probably be the best choice. Yeah, we've had our breaks with Alessandra de Fair, and We will. Adele is my master of spoil, so she knows her way around. She is a bit of a lunatic, but we love her nonetheless. So she will constantly keep, and yeah, she would have made a fine steward if they would allow women to do this. We do need a tutor, and there I think actually Volkart, interestingly enough, who has just turned 18, would make a fine. He's my knight and gentleman. He would make a fine tutor for the children. So yeah. We will get Volkart appointed to that position. We do need a wet nurse, and nobody is really particularly skilled in that. I think Bourguignon and Elisa are maybe a little too old for that. And other than that, I think a personal champion stands to reason. We'll get Charles. He is our knight. He doesn't have a job. Richard, he is getting on in age. Really, he's reclusive. He's scarred. He's a drunkard. I do not wish to impress that upon him. So Charles shall be our personal champion. Cicek is unfortunately infirm, so she is currently our master bard, but we don't really have anybody who would be better than her. So for now, we will leave her at her position, and everybody else is already filled out here, pretty much. Do we need an antiquarian right now? I don't think we do. Or we could, to improve the artifacts. It might not actually be a bad position. Who are we going to get in? I would have actually thought that Fulke the heathen would be our priest, but it seems that he is not having the favor. And yeah, they're all the same. So we'll get him into that position. And he can actually be given the task to improve artifacts. Yeah, we'll do that. But then I think our costs, and yes, we have to give tasks to the other ones as well. So Volkart can educate the children, teach the court, or improve lives. I think educating the children is what we're going to get him to do. Adela, our seneschal, can get the court position's aptitude improved, or manage the domain. Yeah, definitely manage the domain, because we need the cost. We need the control increased. Right. These are the positions we have. These are the positions we have for now. All of these things are expensive, and we're currently not in need of any of these positions. We will fill them as we go, but yeah, we have our work cut out for ourselves. Count Emeric of Auvergne obviously wants to have a court position. He is, however, not the brightest, and while he is mostly content, he's also somewhat irrational. So we will see where this goes. We've got many things more to do. So we've got low control in the countries that we've got to deal with. We have to potentially construct some. We can construct some buildings, and places have been looted. All in all, the situation is not great. So we'll have our work cut out for it, which means that I'm actually thinking of switching back to stewardship. Do we have something? We could do the authority focus just to get the control back up. That alternatively, we could go to stewardship and see if we can. So we have obviously different skill trees now. So the martial skill tree is pretty much the same, but the stewardship skill tree I think is a different one now. So There would be potentially, potentially, we've already got cutting cornerstones, professional workforce, development growth, popular opinion, domain limit, and architect. I'm thinking of going down. I don't think this is necessarily where I want to go. Stored subjects, not something we want to do. This is we might even reset the perks and redistribute them, because there's some things like fearful troops is not something I necessarily need, and we could go for domain focus, really. Or duty focus. Yeah, one of these two. Anyway, I'll see to that next episode. We've got many more things to organize, but big development. Duke Bernard III of Toulouse, at 45 years of age, is now a former adventurer and a skilled blade master, but now has a completely different task at hand, which is to reorganize the oppressed people of Toulouse, to deal with the complicated claim situation, and potentially to see if we can also liberate the remaining parts of the duchy that are currently not under our control. So we could get these two pieces here, and we could potentially return Auvergne, which we don't need to hold, and that also hopefully gets us to not having to deal with Count Emmerich anymore. So we will see. We will see what we do, and all of that to come in the next episode.